You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Well, here we go again, guys. We need to talk about the NBA and the WNBA. Now, the WNBA, the only reason why it even exists today in 2024 is because of the NBA. The biggest supporters of the WNBA is the NBA and the NBA players. The vast majority of people, something like 70% of people that actually watch WNBA games are actually men. The women are not showing up, and that's okay. If a woman doesn't want to watch the WNBA, they don't want to watch it. You can't force them to actually watch it. But what have we heard from the WOKES out there? That the WNBA players need to be paid on par with their NBA counterparts, which absolutely makes no sense whatsoever. But when it actually came to the women's national team, they ended up getting equal pay. And when the men actually made a whole bunch of money, they had to give half of their earnings over to the women. When the women didn't even play, they didn't even get people to watch. See, that's the problem, man. That's communism right there. But the WOKES, they want communism. That's what they want. Now, the WNBA players, I believe on average, they make something like $100,000. Whereas, of course, in the NBA, we're talking about, I believe me and Rhodes actually talked about this on a member stream. By the way, become a member, get access to the member stream every single Friday. Click that join button if you're watching on YouTube. I believe the average was like $10 million in the NBA. Now we know that the elite players, LeBron James, all those guys, I believe LeBron actually has like a $51 million option net season with the Lakers. Okay. The NBA has been around a very, very long time. And that was a starting point for the NBA. NBA players way back in the day actually had second jobs. They weren't full-time players. Now, the WNBA has been around since the 1990s. They have never, ever made a profit. Never. They are still subsidized by the NBA. Now, if the NBA walked away, the WNBA, it'll be over with. It will be done. Any type of major decisions that actually happen with the WNBA, the NBA owners actually have to approve of it. Okay? They're really, guys, let's just be honest, there's no demand for the WNBA. Now, ESPN has them on TV. They prop them up because pretty much they have to. But still, there is no demand for the WNBA. Women's college basketball, and I said this before, is much more popular than the WNBA. Now, that brings us to Kevin Porter Jr. of the Denver Nuggets. He actually dropped a truth bomb here, man. A truth bomb, and the WOKES are triggered by what he said. But he was being realistic. He's a supporter also of the WNBA. Like I said, NBA players, they are the biggest supporters of the WNBA. But the WOKES didn't like what he said because when he said just straight up, man, they don't get many people to watch him. If you can't get people to watch him, you can't be demanding, equal pay or better pay, that kind of thing. Even though he said, he believes that they should actually get paid more. But the thing is, man, these players need to take it upon themselves to actually grow their sport. So, right here on Outkick, reaction to NBA star Michael Porter Jr.'s WNBA pay comments shows how out of touch people are on this issue. Like I said, man, the WOKES triggered. They didn't like this. So we're going to play this clip. This is from the Pivot, this clip here. You can see Ryan Clark is on there also as well. And this comment from Alexis, don't know who that is, says, "This wasn't advocating for women's hoops at all. Shaking my head. It's actually insulting." Listen in to what he says here and you tell me if this is actually insulting.
And they're very talented, but so is a famous ping pong player. They're just as talented as the best ping pong player is just as talented as the best basketball player. That doesn't mean they're going to get paid the same because
they play ping pong.
It's what the people want to watch. You know what I mean? So as much as I understand females wanting the same treatment as men basketball players, it's a different sport. People, they're not packing out the arenas. Obviously, their TV deals aren't the same. So as much as I advocate for women and kind of the equality of the respect of their craft and all those things, I mean, you can't pay them the same thing, but I do feel like there should be a little way to make a little bit more money for them because they are very talented.
Correct. Yeah, I think the big thing, obviously, when you're thinking about negotiations, labor unions, and different things like that, I don't believe there's any woman that believes she should be paid as a man gets paid. It's more about the revenue share.
Ryan Clark, Mega Rapinoe, USWNT, yeah. They wanted equal pay. They ended up getting it.
It's more about...
Actually, they make more because they got benefits and everything, too.
The percentage. And I think those things play into it. And then the other side of it is treatment, within their own organizations. Like, they're never... they don't...
Right, it's not as exciting.
It's not as exciting.
It's not as exciting basketball.
Yeah, you're not...
They got to lower the rims. I would watch a girl coming down the lane. On another... I would watch that. They need to lower the rims.
They're actually... As a
yeah, so they just said it right there. It's not as exciting. Think of this, guys. When you actually watch an NBA player do a spectacular dunk, they call it being posterized, like if he's actually dunking on somebody. Now we've seen a few dunks in the WNBA. It's not exciting at all. I believe Brittany Griner has done some dunks, but it's not exciting. The play is not the same. The three-point line, shorter. The ball, smaller. It's not the same game. There isn't the same demand. And they're right, man. There's a bunch of talented people out there that do a whole bunch of different sports. But think of this. A surfer is not going to make the same kind of money, that a NBA player is going to get. Not. I mean, even when it comes to football, for example, the people that make the most money is the quarterback because it's the most important position. You can have a great kicker, but a kicker ain't getting $40 million a year. Just not going to happen. Now, the WNBA players, I said it before, they don't do themselves any favors. They make themselves become unlikable. Guys, if you thought that the NBA was woke, the WNBA is 1,000 times worse. 1,000 times worse. I mean, everything that they do, man, social justice this, Marxism this, is really bad in the WNBA. That's a huge turnoff. Now, some of these comments right here, they don't like it at all, man. They don't like it at all. This person says, I disagree with all of them. Over the past few months, I've done a lot of research and I've partnered with several women's groups to research the disconnect between college women's basketball and the WNBA. And the reality is women's basketball players should and can get paid much more. How are they actually going to get paid more money when they're not making a profit? There has to be money to make a profit. That's why a lot of these women go overseas, because there's more demand and you can make $1 million, going to Turkey or somewhere like that. Because obviously they're making money. But the WNBA doesn't make money. This person here says, I wish these men would do research before having conversations like this, because it could have been easily avoided if you understand the lack of marketing around WNBA games. Also, women would not want to be paid the same amount as her male counterparts if she's doing the same job. What? Let me read that again. I wish these men would do research before having conversations like this, because it could have been easily avoided if you understand the lack of marketing around WNBA games. Also, what woman would not want to be paid the same amount as a male counterpart if she's doing the same job. This is not the same, man. It's not the same. I mean, the NBA brings in billions of dollars, whereas the WNBA loses millions of dollars every year. There's a difference right there. This next person says, educate this man. I believe he's actually educating you. People don't show up to the WNBA games. There's no demand. Nobody wants to see it. So these women go overseas, but I really do think, man, they should like end all of their political things. I still believe there's players not going out there for the national anthem in the WNBA. They need to end all that, man, because that is a huge turnoff right there. They need to try and grow their own sport. The NBA went through many, many years where it wasn't very popular. Then Magic Johnson and Larry Bird came in. The league started growing. And when Michael Jordan hit the scene, boy, the NBA just took off. That ain't happening in the WNBA. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.